buttonhole on your Puggle 2 machine is super easy. All you need is the machine, some fabric and thread, your buttonhole foot, and a seam ripper. Start by making sure your machine is plugged in, turned on, and threaded. I'm going to use the foot control for this, but you can use the speed slider at the front if you prefer. Then make sure your presser foot is raised and your needle is in the highest position possible. If it's not, you can use the hand wheel on the right to do so. To remove the foot, press the button on the back of the shank on your machine. Remove the previous foot and align your buttonhole foot underneath the shank. Lower the presser foot to snap the new foot on. Also make sure that your buttonhole foot is all the way forward. On your fabric, mark the top and bottom of your buttonhole using a button as a reference. Pass the top thread through the opening of the buttonhole foot. Align your fabric underneath with the top mark within the red marked window. Select the first stitch, making sure your needle is still up before you turn the dial. Lower the presser foot and sew slowly until you get to your second mark. From there, turn the dial to the second stitch, remembering to always make sure your needle is in the up position when moving the stitch selector dial. Sew a few stitches to form the bottom of the buttonhole. I usually sew about 4 or 5 stitches. Now change your stitch dial to the third setting, which will stitch the other side of your buttonhole. Sew back up the fabric until you reach your top mark. Finally, turn the dial back to the second setting and stitch the top of your buttonhole, again about 4 or 5 stitches. Raise the presser foot, remove your fabric and trim your excess threads. Then I'm using a seam ripper to open my buttonhole and I'm going to put a pin at one end to make sure I don't cut all the way through. And that's how you sew a buttonhole on your Puggle 2 machine.